हरि ओम। श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गाय नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धेर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम नमः शिवाय 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 ओम नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव। Hari Om, Hari Om. So Bhagavan had revealed to Arjuna that this whole world is myself. My own Prakriti, Parayana Para Prakriti. Through my Parayana Para Prakriti, I myself has become the world, appears like this world. But there is also a seer of this world who is called Kshetragna. So in this chapter, Bhagavan reveals that the Kshetragna is also myself. So it's a very beautiful chapter revealing the essential teachings of the Upanishads. The Upanishads also convey that the self in me is that Brahma. That Brahma alone is this whole world and Brahma alone is the self. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Everything is Brahma. And I am Atma Brahma, and this Atma is also Brahma. Same teaching is revealed in this chapter by Bhagavan. So we are seeing the first Shloka. So let us chant the first Shloka again. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Om Atha Trayodashodhyayah. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Idam Shariram Kaunteya. Kshetramityabhidhiyate. Etad yo vetti tam prahuhu. Kshetragna iti tadvidaha. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Bhagavan, he gives this teaching to Arjuna. Bhagavan says, Idam Shariram, this body. Hey Kaunteya, is called Kshetram. Kshetram iti abhidhiyate is called Kshetra because we protect this body, it continuously decays, and through this body we perform karma and get various results, just as the field in which the field also keeps on healing itself, but still it keeps decaying, and the farmer, he sows the seed and reaps the crops. And etad yo vetti, one who knows this body, is called Kshetragna. So I, the knower of this body, is called Kshetragna. So when we say body, it is not only the gross physical body, but also the subtle body. The gross physical body is made up of the 5 great elements which have undergone a lot of modifications. And the subtle body is also made up of matter, subtler matter. There are 19 parts in the subtle body, Sukshma Sharir. They are the Pancha Jnanendriyas, Pancha Karmendriyas, Pancha Pranas, Mana, Buddhi, Chitta and Ahankar. And I know all of them. I am the knower of all of them, just as I know any other object of this world. Like I know the pen, I know this body also. Not only I know the body, but I know the senses. For example, my eyes. The eyes can see, but I also know the eyes. I know when the eyes are seeing properly or not seeing properly. I see, oh, there's some problem with my eyes, I can't see properly. That means I know the eyes. Similarly, I know my ears also. When I hear or when I don't hear properly, I say, oh, I can't hear properly. So I know the functioning of my ears. Similarly, I know my skin, I know my tongue, I know my sense of smell. Sometimes due to some infection, the sense of smell get lost temporarily. So I know that I am not getting the smell. And when it comes again, I say, oh, now it has come. That means I am the knower of my senses. Then I am the knower of my karmendriyas also. My hands, my legs. When the hands, with the hands I do some work, I can see, I know. When I walk, I understand, I know my legs. Similarly, the organs of excretion, organ of urination, the organ of speech, I can see, I can know. Sometimes we have some sore throat, we can't speak, then our voice comes. I also know the pranas. I control little bit of the pranas also through pranayam. So I am the knower of my pranas. Then I am the knower of my mind also. See, when I am thinking, I know not only what I am thinking, but I know that I am thinking. Some emotion comes, so before the emotion comes, I know the mind. Then the emotion is there, I know it. When the emotion goes away, I know. I say, oh, I became so emotional. But now I am fine. So I know. I know my intellect also. When I understand something or I don't understand something, I know. I am the knower of my buddhi. Then I am the knower of my chitta also. Chitta is the faculty of remembering and retaining. I listen to pravachan, I retain it. Then later on somebody asks me, then I can repeat. So that faculty is also there and I know. Sometimes I say, oh, in my childhood I used to have better memory, but now I tend to forget. So I know my memories. And what about the ahankar? To know that I am the knower of ahankar is little bit difficult. Because the ahankar is also experienced as I, but I am the knower of this ahankar. So ahankar is also separate from me, different from me. Because all that I know is different from me. Just as the pen is different from me, though I might write my name on the pen, but still it is different from me. Similarly, that ahankar, though it has got that I thought, ahankar also keeps saying I. When the eyes are seeing, the ahankar says I am seeing. When the body is walking, the ahankar says I am walking. When the mind is thinking, the ahankar says I am thinking. He claims all the activities as his own. He claims all the knowledge as his own. He claims all the experiences as his own. This ahankar is very strange. So, how to understand that I am the seer, the knower of this ahankar also? That we can understand by analyzing our deep sleep state. When I am in deep sleep, what happens? This, the what you call, what is my experience in the deep sleep? I have no experience of the body. The body is lying here, there, or somebody picks it up and takes it to some other place. I have no experience of the body in my deep sleep. What about the senses? The senses also are not functioning in deep sleep. So there is no seeing, hearing, tasting, touching. Deep sleep. Deep sleep means dreamless sleep. Then there is no experience of the organs of action also. There is no walking, talking, grabbing. Nothing happens there. But in deep sleep there is no thinking also happening. Mind is not functioning. Buddhi is also not functioning. I don't decide anything. I don't understand anything in deep sleep. The memory also doesn't function. There is no remembering or retaining. And there is no ahankar also, because there is nothing to claim also. Ahankar claims the activity of the body, the senses, the mind, the intellect, but all the activities of all these have stopped. So there is no ahankar also. But I am present in my deep sleep. I am present. Therefore, when I wake up, when I remember, when I go back and try to analyze and understand the deep sleep, I say I slept happily. So I know my own presence. And I also know the absence of the Sthula Sharir and Sukshma Sharir. That means I, the knower, knows the presence and absence of ahankar also. So ahankar is different from me. And even during the day, sometimes I become more proud of certain things. Sometimes I am less proud. So I know, I say, oh, I was very egoistic, but now I have understood, more humility has come in me. So I can understand and see the changes of ahankar. That means I am the knower of ahankar also. I am different from ahankar. So please listen carefully and identify with all this what I am saying. It is our own experience. It is not a theory which I am talking about. I am talking about our own experience, your experience, my experience. Your experience of waking might be different from mine. Your experience of dream is different from mine. But your experience of deep sleep and my experience of deep sleep is same. The experience of deep sleep of all the beings are same. So in the waking state we analyze, we try to comprehend deep sleep, though it is very difficult. Because in deep sleep, all the senses, the mind, etc. are not functioning. So the scriptures tell us about this deep sleep. The Vedas, the Upanishads, they say that in deep sleep, our mind, antakarana, which has absorbed all the indriyas gets absorbed in the antakarana. And the antakarana remains dormant in the pranas, in the nadis. There are many nadis in our body, and there is in which the pranas they move, and there is one nadi called hita nadi in which the antakarana remains dormant, takes rest as though. So, but I am present. Just as when I want to write, I use the pen, but when I keep the pen away, even then I exist. My presence is there. Or like our mobile. When you want to communicate with someone, you use your mobile. So there is the outer form of the mobile, which is like the sthula sharir. Then there is the inner structure of the mobile, the software, which is like the sukshma sharir. And it requires some energy to make it function. That is the pranas, what you call the battery. The pranas are like the battery in a mobile. And your number, whatever your phone number, it is like ahankar. If somebody gets a call, missed call from your phone, they call you back and say, so I got a call from this number. So phone number is like ahankar. But who is Kshetragna? Who is the one who knows all this? That is me. So I can, even when I keep the phone aside, I exist. But I can't talk to my friend who is far away because I can talk to him only through the phone. But even when I am not talking, I exist. Similarly, in deep sleep, even though I am not talking, walking, thinking, feeling, remembering, but I exist. That I, different from the sthula sharir and sukshma sharir, is called Kshetragna. That Kshetragna, in the waking and dream, identifies with the sthula sharir, and in the waking he identifies with the sthula sharir and sukshma sharir and considers himself the doer, knower, enjoyer, karta, bhokta, jnata. This identification happens due to avidya, and when he considers himself as the karta, bhokta, jnata, that's called jiva. The Kshetragna itself is called jiva because of his foolish identification. But the entity is same. So Kshetragna itself is called jiva. Kshetragna itself is called purusha. Kshetragna itself is called pratyak atma. Kshetragna is also called atma. All these are different names. So don't get confused about these names. And that Kshetragna is you. You are the Kshetragna. This you have to remember. If you don't remember this, then forget about listening to all this pravachan. You have to remember that you are the Kshetragna. Now, interesting thing is that when I am in deep sleep, I remain alone. But when I am dreaming, I am with my sukshma sharir, means with my antakarana. When I am awake, I am with the Sthula Sharir and Sukshma Sharir. But in deep sleep I am alone. But very interesting that even when I am alone, I don't recognize myself. I don't understand myself. I don't understand my Swarupa. If somebody asks me, who are you? In the waking, I keep giving my name and all my status and all. Then somebody asks me, what were you when you were dreaming? Then if I remember the dream, I tell about the dream and what I was in my dream. But when somebody asks me about my deep sleep, who are you? Who are you in your deep sleep? I can't say anything. The only thing I can say is I was. But I don't know who was I. There was no color, no taste, no length, breadth, width, nothing I can say about myself. So there is ignorance about myself, because of which in the waking I identify with the gross body and the subtle body. Okay? But the whole idea about the scripture is to recognize myself, or recognize the Kshetragna. So here in this first verse, you have to just remember that the Kshetragna is the knower of the Kshetra, means the body, and it is different from the body, both the bodies, the Sthula Sharir and Sukshma Sharir. And that Kshetragna is I, So I, the Kshetragna, is the knower of this gross physical body and is the knower of the subtle body, and I am different from both of them. If you understand properly, then you have understood what is said in this first verse. These verses are meant for us to contemplate and understand, not to just by heart and remember and listen and then forget about it. So if this is understood, Bhagavan now tells us, he had already told about the Kshetra, this body. This body is part of this world. Our Sukshma Sharir is also part of this world. Bhagavan had said before that he alone had become the world through his Prakriti. So his Prakriti alone is expressing as this world. So what is this body? Bhagavan's Prakriti. What is the Sukshma Sharir? Bhagavan's Prakriti. Okay? But who is the Kshetragna, that who am I exactly? What is my relationship with Bhagavan? And what is my relationship with this Kshetra? Apart from being a knower of the Kshetra, what is my relationship with the Kshetra? So all this has to be understood. So now in the second verse, Bhagavan reveals this most subtle, most fascinating verse. Bhagavan says, Kshetrajñam chapi mam vidhi sarvakshetreshu bharata kshetrajñayor jnanam yattadjnanam matam mama. Bhagavan says, the Kshetragna, this Kshetragna what we talked about, that is you, Kshetragna cha api mam vidhi sarvakshetreshu bharata. You understand the Kshetragna as myself. Bhagavan says. Ishwara says that the Kshetragna is myself. Oh, so I and God are special. Bhagavan says, no, not only in your body, but the Kshetragna in all the bodies, in all the Kshetras. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. In all the Kshetras, the Kshetrajna is myself. It's a very profound statement. We will try to understand. This is the Mahavakya. If this is understood, then our journey is over. Bhagavan says, therefore, Bhagavan says further, Kshetrajnayo jnanam yattat jnanam matam mama. That one who, to understand Kshetra, the real nature of Kshetra, and to understand the real nature of Kshetrajna itself is knowledge. Yattat jnanam matam mama. The scriptures talk about knowledge will give us freedom. Jnanat eva tu kaivalyam. All our bondage is due to avidya. So what is that vidya? What is that knowledge? Is this. We should understand the Kshetra and Kshetrajna. What we should understand about them? The Kshetra is Ishwara and Kshetrajna is also Ishwara. This has to be understood subjectively and directly, which can be understood if one just attentively follows and takes guidance as Bhagavan is guiding us. So, Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Kshetra kshetrajnayo jnanam yattat jnanam matam mama. Now let us try to understand the Kshetrajna as far as we can understand, and thereafter we will take the help of the Shastras to further understand the Kshetrajna. So before we contemplate on it, let me tell you a small story which I heard from one Swami. I was listening to his pravachan, and he told one incident actually about Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi Ji. Lot of people used to come to have darshan of Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi. Lot of sincere seekers, devotees, and even non-believers and all used to come. So one professor came to meet Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi, well educated. See, the tragedy of modern time is sometimes the more we get educated, the modern educational system is such, the more we get educated, the more Nastic the person becomes. It is the Nastic creating factories like. Unless we have a holistic educational system, the present system mostly encourages people to become Nastic only. Non-believers in Ishvara, non-believers in the Shastras, non-believers in the Mahatmas. So this person also was like that. He came to Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi and asked him that is there God? Is God really there? Is Ishvara really there? Or just some sort of superstitious belief? That's what he was thinking. So Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi said, yes, there is God, definitely. Ishvara is there. He is very much real. So he asked Bhagavan that, have you seen God? Ramana Maharshi said, yes, I have seen God, I am seeing God. Just as I am seeing you, I see God. So he asked, that means you are talking to me, that means you must be talking to Ishvara also. Bhagavan said, yes, I talk to him. Just as I am talking to you, I talk to him also. So that professor said that can you show me God? I also want to talk to him, speak to him. Bhagavan said, I will talk to him and ask him whether he wants to meet you. Because you can't just meet Jabardasti. So I will ask Ishvara whether he wants to meet you. He said, so you come tomorrow? I will ask him and let you know. So again that person came next day and he asked Bhagavan, did you have a talk with Ishvara? He said, yes. He said, when will he meet? He said, Bhagavan asked me, Ishvara asked me to ask you, he asked me who wants to meet you, who wants to meet me. He wants to know who wants to meet Ishvara. He said, I want to meet, this is my name, this is my designation, I want to meet. He said, this is just your name and this your degree, whatever you have acquired, your PhD and all, is just a degree, just a upadhi, just external feature. But who are you? So he was taken aback. He said, I am that consciousness. This term is very popular, no? Name, consciousness. People keep saying consciousness. He said, I am that consciousness, that Chaitanya. So Bhagavan says, where is this Chaitanya? Where is it? He said, where is it? In your head, in your stomach, in your legs? He says, no, it pervades my whole body. Bhagavan asked, have you seen this Chaitanya? He said, no. He said, if you have not seen yourself, how can you see Ishvara? Only when you see yourself properly, you will be able to see Ishvara also. You will see Ishvara as much as you can see yourself. If you see yourself as your body, then Ishvara also with his body is this world. This world is body of Ishvara. If you are Vyakta, manifest as this body, Ishvara is also manifest as this world. And as you pervade this whole body, Ishvara also pervades this whole world. And when you go to sleep, deep sleep, you absorb the whole body, the whole world merges into you. Similarly, when the whole pralaya happens, everything merges into that Ishvara. You and Ishvara are not different. You yourself are that Ishvara. That's what Bhagavan is telling us here. The Kshetragna, this I am Ishvara, and this world also is Ishvara. Now let us try to understand the Kshetragna a little bit. So it is experience, or we are alone with ourselves in deep sleep. But remaining in deep sleep we can't think. Remaining in deep sleep we cannot analyze. We have to analyze and understand myself, taking the help of my mind and intellect, and that can be done in the waking state. So when in the waking state I analyze and understand myself properly with the help of the scriptures and my teacher, then the identification with my body, mind and all drops, and I comprehend and experience my supreme nature. So when I am awake, when I am thinking of my deep sleep, what is my thinking? What is my understanding of it? See, when I am awake, I see the world and I am seeing you also. Let us say you are there in front of me. I can see you. I see you as expressing through your body, and I am expressing through my body. If there is some hurt on my body, I feel that pain, but you don't feel that pain. You get hurt, you feel the pain, I don't feel it. So your experience of your body and my experience of my body is different. Similarly, your experience of your mind and experience of my mind is different, because your mind is different and my mind is different. Therefore, when I go to sleep and dream, you will not know what dream I had unless I tell you. But when I go to sleep, in deep sleep, when I tell you that I was in deep sleep, you don't have to ask me what was it, because you know. When you say you were in deep sleep, I know. Because in deep sleep, separate from the body mind, there is nothing to divide us. There is nothing to separate us in deep sleep. There was no upadhi to differentiate between you and me. So in deep sleep, that Kshetragna in me means in this body, and the Kshetragna in you is same. Not only in you, but the Kshetragna in a dog, in a cat, in an elephant, in the bird, in the fish, is same. Not only that, the Kshetragna in Vaishvanara, the Kshetragna in all the Devatas, the Kshetragna in Hiranyagarbha, they are all same. Same means one. no division of any kind. So that Kshetragna, Bhagavan says, is myself. Kshetrajnam chapi mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Kshetra kshetrajnayo jnanam yattat jnanam matam mama. Now let us read few verses, few sentences from Bhagavan Shankaracharya's commentary. He has written elaborate commentary on this verse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pages of commentary. Generally, Bhagavan writes very short paragraph on each verse, but here he has written 14 pages. I have this book, I follow this book of Gita Press, Shankar Bhashya. The original Sanskrit is there and the translation in Hindi is also there. So let us read few sentences. So Kshetrajnam chapi mam viddhi, Bhagavan now explains what does it mean. Kshetrajnam means yathokta lakshanam. Who is the Kshetrajna? That which was said in the previous verse as the knower of the body. Knower of the gross body and knower of the subtle body, different from both these bodies. See, the Kshetrajna, though it is separate from the gross and subtle body and remains alone in deep sleep, but a Kshetrajna is present in the dream, it is present in the waking, it is always present. In the waking and dream, it is mixed up with this upadis, so it is difficult to recognize it. But in deep sleep, it gets separated from the upadis. Just like a pot with pot space. So when it is seen along with the pot, the space appears to have a particular shape. But when you shift your attention away from the pot and just focus on the space, then the space doesn't have any shape. The space is same everywhere. The space in all the pots is same. So Kshetrajnam yathokta lakshanam cha api mam parmeshwaram. When Bhagavan says, I am the Kshetrajna, who is Bhagavan? Parameshwaram, Param Ishwaram. Who is that Ishwara? Sakshat, that Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Alone, with his, when the scriptures talk about that Brahma as the creator of this world, as Sarvajna Sarva Shaktiman, along with his Shakti, is called Ishwara. So Ishwara is Brahma only. Brahma is a Swarupa. Ishwara is the Rupa of that Brahma along with his Shakti. So Parameshwaram, but Parameshwar is how a samsari. He is not a samsari. Means Ishvara is not a karta, bhokta, jnata, jiva. Ishvara is not a doer, enjoyer, knower. Ishvara is not a jiva who does karma and gets the result of it as good and bad, who takes birth and goes into different lokas and all this samsari jiva that is not Ishvara. Ishvara is asamsari, asamsarinam. He is neither the Karta, Bhokta, Jnata. He is that Shuddha Ishvara, pure, that Brahma, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So Parmeshwaram asamsarinam viddhi janihi sarva kshetreshu. But in all the kshetras, in all the fields, means in all the bodies, in all the gross bodies and subtle bodies. See, the whole entire world is a body only. The entire world is the body of Ishvara. Ishvara as Vaishvanara, the whole gross physical world is his gross body. The total mind, intellect and all is his subtle body. He alone is Vaishvanara, he alone is Hiranyagarbha. So in all the bodies of Hiranyagarbha, Vaishvanara, or if you look at all the other devatas and other beings and human beings, animal, birds, plant, there are billions of varieties of bodies are there, which we keep discovering also in billions of varieties. From the tiniest to the largest, variety of them are there. Even all these microbes and bacteria and all, they are also bodies only. They have a body and there is a Kshetragna in them. So Sarva Kshetreshu, yes, Sarva Kshetragna, that Kshetragna which is there in all the bodies means Brahmadi Stamba Paryantam. Brahmadi Stamba Paryanta. Right from Brahmaji, Hiranyagarbha. See, Hiranyagarbha has got this Pancha Tanmatras and he has got this Samashti Mana, Samashti Buddhi, Samashti Ahankar and Pranas. But that Hiranyagarbha, who is Hiranyagarbha? Is the Kshetragna, who is the knower of the Panchatanmatras, knower of the Samashti Mana, Samashti Buddhi, Samashti Ahankar. That knower, Hiranyagarbha, is Ishvara alone. Not only he, but even the Vaishvanara is Ishvara. All the Devatas are Ishvara. All the other beings are Ishvara. So Brahmadi Stamba Paryanta, right from Brahmaji to a tiny blade of grass, all this in all the Kshetras, the Kshetragna which are there, Aneka Kshetra Upadi Pravibhaktaha, they appear to be different because of the difference in the Upadis, different in the bodies. Otherwise, there is no difference. The difference is felt because we see the difference in the bodies. Like space is one, but in the multiple pots it appears divided. But otherwise it is not divided, it is one. So it appears divided in different types of pots. Similarly, the Kshetragna appears divided in different upadis. Upadhi pravibhaktaha tam nirasta sarva upadi vedam, but devoid of all these upadis. If you just understand the Kshetragna is Ishvara. Ishvara means Brahma. And who is that Brahma? Sadasad Adi Shabda Pratyaya Agocharam, who cannot be comprehended as is or is not. The exact nature of the Kshetragna, Bhagavan will reveal later on in the later verses. So this Kshetragna, which cannot be comprehended with our buddhi as existing or non-existing, as is or is not. Sadasad shabda pratyaya agocharam vidhi iti abhiprayah. One has to recognize that Kshetragna as Ishvara. Further, Shankaracharya ji writes कि हे भारत, ओ अर्जुन, यस्मात् क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ ईश्वर याथात्म्य व्यतिरेकेण न ज्ञानगोचरम अन्यद अवशिष्टमस्ति, तस्मात्, since there is nothing other than kshetra, kshetrajna and Ishvara to be known. Kshetra includes the entire world. Kshetrajna are the knowers of this world, and they are Ishvara. So other than knowing this, there remains nothing more to be known. What else is there to be known? If you know this, you know everything. So, hey Bharata, yasma kshetra kshetrajna Ishvara yathatmya, but one has to know the essence of the kshetra kshetrajna Ishvara. When we know the yathatmya, yatha, as they are, the swarupa. So the swarupa of kshetra is Brahma, swarupa of kshetrajna is also Brahma, as Ishvara is that Brahma. Tasma kshetra kshetrajnayoho neya bhutayoho. Therefore, this both kshetra and kshetrajna, which has to be known, when one knows it, that knowledge, jnanam kshetra kshetrajna yena jnanena vishayi kriyete, that by which we comprehend the kshetra and kshetrajna. Kshetra and kshetrajna, their essential nature, once we comprehend it, once we gain that knowledge is called samyak jnanam. That is the correct, ultimate, supreme knowledge. That knowledge alone liberates us from this samsara. One who has gained that knowledge alone is called the Jnani Bhakta, or called Sthita Prajna, or is called Parama Bhakta, or is called the Supreme Yogi. Different names are there, Mahatma, Brahmajnani. This is the knowledge. Samyak jnanam iti matam abhiprayo mama ishvarasya vishnoho. This is my teaching. This is what I am teaching you here, Arjuna. This is the essential teaching. Okay? So this is very profound. And there are certain questions which might arise in our mind after listening to this. So those questions are also taken up by Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji in his commentary, and they are answered logically, systematically, rationally. That we will see in our class tomorrow. So you please listen to this pravachan again, contemplate, and even if you forget everything, just remember you are the Kshetrajna. Different from your Sthula Sharir and Sukshma Sharir. How, why, what, and all these are different questions which are answered. But now categorically understand you are the Kshetrajna, and that you Kshetrajna is Brahma. Okay? So till then you take care, be happy, peaceful, healthy, safe, do your work, do your sadhana, listen to this pravachan again. Many times our problem is that we don't listen carefully, or we think that we have understood. if you think you have understood and you have not understood, then you get stuck. The person who gets stuck in spirituality are those who think they have understood. So they stop thinking, but they have not understood. So they are stuck. So don't get stuck. Even if you think you have understood, think again. Understand it properly. Then that will be good. Okay, then we will meet again tomorrow. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Bole Syav Ramachandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.